Good evening, folks. Triple Crown here, coming to you from Vancouver, British Columbia. This is a round 14 summary game conclusion. It is we'll get into, we won't spoil it, but we will talk about what's happening first, or what happened first in this round. So the Germans, so just to clarify, the Italians have yet to go in round 14, but the game is called. Anyways, so this is the Germans. They came in, they captured Calcutta. They also sent a few units into Bangladesh. They lost 4 aircraft to AAA fire when they attacked Calcutta. This is their air force here that's remaining. They lost 4 planes. That's currently sitting in this territory right here. So that's where they landed. The Italian fleet is sitting on a naval base right here. That's the Italian fleet. They could load up 5 units and head over, and that's what they have contending, currently sitting in Singapore, and that is not going to be successful even with coastal bombard of a couple battleships and cruisers, and none of their aircraft can make it. And so we will get into sort of what happened over here. Novosibirsk, the Germans kind of went in, and the Russians rolled their lights out. So I think they had like 5 or 6 hits round 1, and the Germans decided to retreat. That's not a victory city. But currently sitting here in this sea zone here, off of Hong Kong, is currently this Navy, which is pretty massive, and all of these transports in this Navy, and all of these American transports are sitting west of this Navy. Here is actually sitting in this sea zone here, just west of the Philippines. And the Americans came in and took the Philippines, and the Japanese did not roll very well. But I don't think it would have mattered. The Americans would have won. And the British came in and they took Hong Kong, and that was the well, actually, the Americans capturing the Philippines was the deciding victory city, but the fact that the British came in and liberated Hong Kong was the deciding factor. You can see all these American planes have landed there. The B-29s are currently sitting on Formosa, and the KMT decided not to attack. And so what happened here in the deciding factor was the British, or the FEC, had decided not to defend Calcutta. That was basically a fool's proposition. So their entire air force, which is all these Russian units and all these aircraft, are all currently sitting with all the KMT forces currently sitting here. And that's where they all landed with a couple of American planes. It's just a massive stack of stuff, just like 50 KMT units just sitting there. And so had that not have happened, had the British not decided to head ahead and take Hong Kong, they were not going to be able to defend, but they had to make sure they also left enough units behind to defend Singapore. So even if the Italians came and they took it with a few units, they have absolutely no follow-up on round 14 or 15, and there's 4 UK guys here on a naval transport, and 4 more over here, and all of these American units here can jump on a transport next turn and go and reinforce Singapore. So even if it was going to fall this turn, it was not going to be. I mean, look at all the American units there. There's about 20 units left. The Allies probably could have taken a hard run at Tokyo, but that was not a guaranteed. All they needed to do was take 2 cities, and that was it. Look it up here. The Canadians and the British making a nuisance of themselves. They've got about 6 or 8 units sitting there in Sapporo ready to do more damage. The British have a couple tanks. So if this was to go to round 15, the Americans and the KMT and the British might be able to dislodge this like 45 units sitting here in Shanghai with this Air Force. So the Japanese would have another build over here in Tokyo, so that would be safe. The Germans, with all this stuff coming, just simply did not have enough to keep pushing. Now, if this was a never-ending game, probably the Allies would have pushed for Tokyo, and they likely would have had an opportunity to get it. Now, nobody did a last build over here in America or Australia. Italy didn't even go in round 14, and the Germans didn't do a build. You can see all the Luftwaffe bombers sitting there that can come down. But if this was... So the Germans probably, and the Italians probably eventually would just keep pumping out all these units, tanks and fast movers and aircraft, and just headed towards Asia and push the KMT, and eventually been able to capture probably Singapore and maybe Hong Kong, because it's logistically for the Americans to, you know, bring guys on naval transports all the way across. That's logistically expensive. So eventually I could see Italy controlling all of Asia, or a good portion of it, and basically North America and England being left with Australia and Canada left to defend. So basically they would have had to go for Tokyo in a never-ending game, and they likely would have been able to do it. I mean, just look at all these American transports sitting there and over here, and all these British transports, never mind the ones up here. It just, I don't know if they would have been able to stop it. Not with the B-29s. They roll 4 dice at 4, and a couple medium bombers there, and look at all the British bombers, and you know, it's just too powerful. So that is my conclusion of the game. I'm going to do another summary later on. I mean, talking to CB's Bill and to Hilltop Pillbox about this whole America kill San Francisco strategy and all the possible variants. But we definitely like it as an allied or an Axis strategy. And the Axis were very close, very close. Could things have been done a little bit differently to sharpen things up? Could have Japan held on to San Francisco for one more round, which America would not be here. So anyways, lots to digest and evaluate. Currently, South Africa would have been safe. Cairo would have been safe. Germany didn't even do his last build, but they're making 178 IPP with a capture of FEC. And America and Canada and the British are producing naval units over here to make sure North America is safe. So anyways, give me your feedback. Let me know what you think of the San Francisco. This whole Italian Air Force is currently sitting right here, and Italy's just building heavy bombers. But anyways, let me know what you think of the San Francisco strategy for the Japanese. And thanks for watching, folks, and stay tuned for more Global War 1939 content coming soon.